As recipient of such mercy, the divine resident of Vaikuntha are much greater than I in many ways. How can I adequately describe their glories? Though living within the material world in bodies composed of five elements, persons expert in releasing devotional service to the Lord are always worshipable for a person like me. Such expert releasers surrendered themselves fully to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, hoping to obtain exclusive love for him. They abandoned their wealth, their family, and their very lives. They are not interested in any of the mean and aims of success in this world or the next. They have gone beyond supervillains to the rules that apply according to the birth, occupation, and spiritual status. Even if they have not repaid their three debt and are therefore transgressing Vedic principles, by the power of their devotion to Lord Hari, they are ever fearless. Greedy to taste the pleasure of devotion to Him, they have no desire for anything else. To them, liberation, heaven, and hell all appears the same. Truly, I tell you, such devotees are as limitlessly dear to me as the Supreme Lord Himself. My highest ambition to have their company. In my opinion, dear Narada, anywhere such devotees are found is actually Vaikuntha Loka. Arguing against this fact would be useless. Having drunk the nectar of devotion to Krishna, those devotees forget their material bodies and relationships. Thus, even while living in material bodies, they assume the transcendental nature of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. But in Vaikuntha, devotees always release ongoing pleasure pastime in the very company of Lord Hari. Therefore, devotees sometimes prefer to live there. That is why I say that the residents of Vaikuntha are greater than everyone else. As the object of Krishna's special mercy, they are His most beloved devotees. Sri Parvati said, furthermore, among them all, the goddess Sri is famous as especially dear to the Lord. She is indeed the ruling goddess of Vaikuntha and its residents. Her mercy expands wherever she casts her alongside glances, sidelong glances. Thus, the rulers of the various planets obtain their powers, their knowledge, their detachment, and their devotion. Ignoring people like you who worship her with great respect, she vowed to undergo Shiva penances to worship her beloved Lord, even though he was indifferent to her. This most perfect of chaste wife resides forever on his beautiful chest and follows him all his incarnation. Sri Parikshita said. Then the sage, his mind vibrating with extreme delight, called out, glories to you, O husband of the goddess of Kamala, O Hari, Lord of Vaikuntha. Glories to you, O Vaikuntha world, glories to all who live there, and glories to you, O Padma, Lord Krishna's beloved, O presiding goddess of Vaikuntha. Then, wanting to visit Vaikuntha and personally offer respect to the goddess of fortune, Narada stood up. Seeing this, Lord Shiva took him by hand to stop him. Lord Shiva then spoke. Sri Mahesa said, my dear Narada, because of your eagerness to see the dearest devotee of Krishna, you have lost your memory. Don't you remember that the Lord of Vaikuntha is living right now on earth in Dwarka? Queen Rukmini is the supreme goddess of fortune herself, and Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Rukmini's partial incarnation accompany Lord Vamana and other avatars of the Lord. Rukmini is the perfectly completed divine concept of complete personality of Godhead. She always serves at Sri Krishna's lotus feet. So sit down, my dear Brahmana, and I shall whisper in your ear a great secret. Please hear this with absolute confidence. So we will read from the next verses in the next session. We'll stop here. So it looks like that Lord Shiva is going to, after saying that the Vaikuntha Vasis are the biggest devotee of Krishna and they have the biggest mercy of Lord Krishna, now he is going to tell a secret to Narada. Let's just see what is the secret in the next session. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We will continue. In your ear, a great secret. Please hear this with absolute confidence. There is a greater recipient of Krishna's mercy than your father, me, and other servants like Garuda, and even than the goddess of fortune. His name is Prahlada. He is famous throughout the world as the dearmost devotee of Krishna. Surely you haven't forgotten the Supreme Lord's words about this. You must have read them in the Puranas and must remember the following verse. Without saintly persons for whom I am only destination, I do not desire to enjoy my transcendental bliss or my supreme opulence. The Lord's divine personal form is the source of all the demigods, including me, and gives great pleasure to his devotees. But the Lord considers his own body worthless compared to the value of his devotees, who speak to praise the Lord's devotees. Moreover, among those countless devotees, Prahlada stands out as the example of perfection. The Lord himself has described him in this way. Prahlada's good fortune is inconceivable. When the Lord tore apart Hiranyakashipu, I, all the demigods, and the goddesses Lakshmi witnessed with our own eyes the incomparable good fortune of Prahlada. Lord Vishnu several times tried to offer him boons, but Prahlada refused to ask to be liberated. Instead, he chose only pure devotion. I bowed down before him. My dear saints, Bali violated spiritual etiquette by disobeying the order of his spiritual master and failing to be true to his own words. Still, as we know, the Lord agreed to become the guard at Bali's door. Was that simply the fruit of Bali's insignificant charity? The Lord also granted protection to the wicked Bana. Was that the result of my offering to the Lord's prayers? No. In both cases, the Lord acted out of affection for Prahlada, his most beloved devotee. But what more about this can I say in the presence of Gauri, the close friend of Goddesses Lakshmi? Go quickly to Sutala, offer Prahlada your countless blessings, embrace him and tell him I embrace him again and again. Unfortunately, that best of saintly person will not tolerate our bowing down to him or praising him. If you want to avoid getting into trouble, do not neglect this fact. Thus ends the third chapter of part 1 of Srila Sanatana Goswami's Brihad Bhagavatam entitled Prapanchatita, Beyond the Material World. So with this, Lord Shiva told Narada that the biggest devotee is Prahlada and go and meet him. So in the next chapter, Narada is going to meet Prahlada. So we will read the next chapter in the next session. Hare Krishna.